Now for our keynote address, President Karras.
All right. It's my pleasure to not be the keynote address, but to actually introduce our keynote speaker today. It's my pleasure today to introduce today's graduation speaker, acclaimed actor Delroy Lindo. It's right there. Yes. Mr. Lindo continues to have a memorable career in which he has received critical acclaim, including a Tony Award nomination, and received the Helen Hayes Award nomination and the NAACP Image Award for Best Actor. He's acted in movies, television roles, and performed on Broadway. In addition, he has produced and directed a documentary film featuring Spike Lee. Mr. Lindo has memorable roles in films such as Cider House Rules, Heist, Crooklyn, and Malcolm X. Other notable films, yeah, they're good films. Other notable films including Wondrous Oblivion, The Core, The One, Gone in 60 Seconds, Ransom, Get Shorty, one of my favorites, Romeo Must Die, and this Christmas, a recent remake, of Point Break and Pixar's Up. On TV, he currently appears in CBS's The Good Fight, and he's featured in television series such as Believe, Chicago Code, and Kidnapped. On Broadway, he's received a Tony and Drama Desk Award nominations playing Harold Loomis in August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come Home and Gone, and played Walter Lee in the Kennedy Center, and Los Angeles productions of A Raisin in the Sun. He's also directed plays, including The Blue Door and Joe Turner's Come and Gone, to critical acclaim at Berkeley Repertory Theater, and won a Los Angeles Theater Weekly Award directing the play Medallion of Honor Rag? Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm starting to lose it. All right. For education, he has an honorary doctorate in arts and humanities from Virginia Union University. God, I'm not an actor. From Virginia Union University, a BFA, cum laude, good job, from San Francisco State University, and an MFA, yay, from New York University. So it's my pleasure to stop talking and bring up our keynote speaker.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you. I'm here this afternoon because of an event some months ago convened, and Tony Cook was present. And that event, among other things, featured a number of young people who were describing their educational journeys, the challenges they had faced, and some of which I related to because I had faced similar challenges. Tony invited me to be here. I'm glad she did. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. I'm supposed to speak for 10 minutes. If I go over 10 minutes, just start doing that. In thinking about coming here and starting to write, a phrase came to me. Can you all hear me in the back? The phrase is, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. And where you finish in life, how you progress through life, depends on that phrase that our valedictorian mentioned, which is saying, yes, yes I can. You stole my phrase, but that's okay. It's a simple phrase and it's a complicated phrase. But that is the phrase that I want to speak a little bit about this afternoon. A lot of people around you may be saying, no, you can't do this, you're not good enough for this. And you all have to have the strength, the ability to say to yourselves, yes I can, yes I will, yes I can. I know in fact, that all of you sitting here have already made that decision for yourselves. Otherwise, you would not be sitting here. So I want to say bravo to all of you for being here wearing those beautiful robes. Bravo. There was some young men in the meeting that we had with Tony, and they spoke about some of the challenges they had faced. We all face challenges. That's life. There are challenges that are inflicted on us from outside forces. There are challenges that we inflict upon ourselves. Certainly, I have done that. That's part of life. When those kinds of things happen, having the ability and the intention to say to yourself, yes, I can get past this. Yes, I will confront this. Yes, saying yes to yourselves will be the beginning of dealing with whatever it is you're confronted with. And the fact of the matter is, you all are living proof of having said yes to yourselves. So on some level, I understand that I don't have to say that to you, because you've already arrived. The fact that you're here wearing those robes indicate that you have already arrived and are ready for the next phases of your lives. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. I love talking about myself. When I think about my own life, there are certain things that I'm proud of. One, the birth of my son. My son is now 17 years old, and for all of us who have teenagers, right? We know there are challenges. Certainly there are challenges in my household. But despite the fact that my son is one of the events, the birth of my son is one of the events in my life that I am most proud. Of course, there are challenges. Had a huge fight with my son last night. Huge. Wasn't pretty. But in terms of addressing my son and doing all that I can to ensure that he grows up to be a young man on a journey to be the best that he can be, I have to say yes to him, even when it doesn't feel good. I have to say yes to myself. I have to say yes to our relationship and the continued growth of our relationship. Yes, I can. Yes, you can. I'm really proud of the fact that I have maintained a career in an industry in which it is extremely difficult to maintain a career, and I have had some success. I'm extremely proud of that. God bless you. But I am super proud of my educational career. In 2004, I got my undergraduate degree from San Francisco State, cum laude. 2004. In 2014, I got my master's degree from NYU. Now, I graduated NYU with a cumulative GPA of 3.952, which, under any other circumstances, that would have been enough for me to get honors. I discovered right before I graduated that the school that I was studying in at NYU, the Gallatin School of Individualized Study, did not grant honors. Yes, I was a little disappointed. However, the most important thing was that I had done the work and I had reaped the benefits of having done the work, just as you all have. And in thinking about coming here, it occurs to me we're all in this together. To the extent that you and the young man in the back, who you may have seen some films of mine and you're proud of me, I'm also proud of you all, because you all are the future. You are the future. It may be a cliche, but trust me, you are the future. And we depend on you to move forward through your lives and make the change in life that we need, particularly right now in America, particularly in the world right now. We need you. We're all in this together. In 2013, as the president mentioned, I received an honorary doctorate from Virginia Union University, the oldest historically black college in the country, and I was given the honorary degree in arts and humanities for my professional work. All of these things I'm deeply proud of. But I have to say my educational journey is right up there among the things that I'm most proud of in my life. I'm standing here having achieved certain things in my life, but I can tell you that it was not always this way for me. I am the child of Jamaican immigrants. Irie. Yes, I. Yeah, man. Come here, young man. It's a Jamaican thing, y'all. It's a Jamaican thing. Jamaican immigrant. I was also what used to be termed when I was young a bastard child, which is to say that my mom and the person who fathered me were not married. The person who fathered me left my mother when she was pregnant, so I was raised by a single mom. All right, let's hear it for all the single moms out there. All right, amen. I was raised by a single mom up to a point because my mom was a nurse, and when she was studying to be a nurse, she was living in residence, and so they would not allow her to have a young child living with her. So I was sent to live with another family, a white family in an all-white neighborhood. I was 5 years old. Huge cultural and emotional shift. Around the time I was 12, I went back to live with my mom, did some things that I should not have done, hanging with some folks that I should not have been hanging with. I was then taken away from my mother, and I was placed into what used to be called the Children's Aid System. I was placed in the system. I did go to one foster home, but I was graciously asked to leave. Yes, I was incorrigible. So I went back to the system. Extremely challenging times. What stood me in good stead, two things. One, despite all the challenges, I enjoyed high school. I enjoyed it. And that became a foundation for me, despite all of the nonsense that was going on in my life. And the second thing was, as a young person, my ambition to become an actor when I grew up. I had no clue how to do that. But the fact that I had it inside of me gave me, it sounds like a cliche, but it gave me a dream to hold on to. So, it is perhaps a cliche, but if you have a dream, an objective for yourselves, hold on to it. Do not let anybody take it from you, no matter what. It may be the most improbable thing in your lives, but if you have it, if it's a part of you, hold on to it. I'm here to tell you that when I was young and I told folks that I wanted to be an actor, yes, I got laughed at. And here I am. And part of my journey, intrinsic to my journey, was my ability to say, yes, I can. Yes, I will. And guess what? Yes, you can, and yes, you will. Don't let anybody take that from you. It's said that success is the best revenge. Success is the best revenge. You guys are already on your paths to success. No matter what the difficulties have been, no matter what challenges you faced, the fact that you're here today wearing those beautiful robes tells me you've made the moves you need to make to start yourselves on the journey to whatever your success is. It occurs to me that my ability to say yes to myself. The fact that as a young person, I had that dream of becoming an actor. That was my foundation. For those of you who may not perhaps have that same foundation, for those of you who maybe do not at this point in your lives, you're not necessarily clear about what you want to do, that's okay too. Because for those of you who may not be clear about what you want to do, what's important is that whatever you do, apply yourselves as strongly as possible. Whatever you do, develop what's called the work ethic. Because if you're able to develop a work ethic in situations that perhaps you're not going to be doing these things for the rest of your life, but if you develop a work ethic, whenever you find that thing that's special to you, whenever you find that endeavor that sparks your imagination and sparks your creativity, if you already have your work ethic in place, you'll be far ahead of the game because you will know how to apply yourselves. You'll know how to work. So for those of you who do not have a dream for yourselves, you're not quite sure what you want to do, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do in your lives, work at it. Apply yourselves. Because that in and of itself is success. When I look back on the various negative things that were in my life, negative things that were imposed on me by outside forces, and negative things that I inflicted upon myself, it occurs to me that one of the things that caused me to survive was the fact that somewhere inside myself, I was not going to allow those external forces to define me. I define myself. And you all define yourselves, particularly in the face of people saying, no, you can't, you're not good enough. You define yourselves. And guess what? You've already done it by virtue of the fact that you're sitting here today wearing those robes. I heard yesterday that, and I mentioned to the president and a couple of people that, and this was mentioned to me by somebody who I had mentioned I was coming here to speak, and they said that Peralta College has a wonderful track record of their students going on to four-year colleges. Brilliant, brilliant. You guys who have made the choice to say yes to yourselves and attend the College of Alameda, very, very smart. Because what you've done is you've entered into an educational environment without the cost of a four-year college. Very smart. Now, the trick is you've done the work. Continue doing the work in the next phase of your four-year college careers. One last thing I'll say is that as proud as I am of my educational academic achievements, you all are already ahead of me. You're getting your degrees now. It took me until 2004 to get my undergrad degree. You guys are ahead of me. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but you do the math. It took me until 2004. You guys are here today as young people, as not so young people, having gotten your degrees. You're already way ahead of the game. God bless you. Bravo.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Delroy Lindo, for your informative, supportive, enthusiastic, and encouraging presentation. At this time, College of Alameda would like to present you with a very special gift.
Yeah.
I made him get up.
Yeah. I'm like, no. Yeah.
I said, no, we're not going out like that.
Yeah. You got him a nice plaque.
Hand it to me.
Hand it to you. Let's say thank you to our keynote speaker once again. We're so privileged to have you come here. And a very small token of our appreciation is this plaque. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. God bless you. Thank you.